Okay, today's lesson is going to be a little bit of hybrid picking and a little bit of some double stops, kind of like rockabilly country stuff you can use if you're playing blues. The first thing, though, is that we're going to talk about your right hand, this guy right here. I hold my pick between my thumb and my index finger, which leaves these fingers free to do other stuff. If I was playing kind of like a jazzy, bluesy walking bass line kind of thing, you can kind of see the pick is going to be playing the bass notes, and these fingers are going to be playing the chords. So I'm able to do a little bit more than what the scope of this lesson is going to be, but I just kind of wanted you to see that your hand, you can do quite a bit with it. It doesn't all have to be strumming, that kind of deal either. The first thing we're going to talk about with the hybrid picking is with the style that we're going to deal with right here. You're going to have double stops, which are 2 notes at a time, and you're going to play those with your middle finger and ring finger. Right, and I'm just using them together. Almost like a piano kind of thing, where the notes happen at the same time. If I was doing that with the pick, it's going to give them a much better, not much better, much different sound. I kind of like the hybrid picking. I tend to do quite a bit of it. I'll even just use the pick and finger, something like that. And part of it is I'm using my middle finger to do the pull-off, and then I'm using the pick to get the other notes. And it gives it kind of a, not an unbalanced sound, but it's kind of a mixed sound, and it allows certain things to pop out a little bit nicer. Now, when we come to this part of it, I'm going to give you just a couple licks to experiment with this week, and then probably next week we're going to expand on this. Let me adjust the camera. The first thing we want to do is we're going to bar our first finger here on the 5th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings. This is all coming out of your A major chord or your A minor pentatonic scale home position that we've talked about in other lessons. Now, this little chord fragment is going to kind of become your friend here. And this is part of this A major bar chord. Your 3rd finger's on the 7th fret, 4th string. Your 2nd finger is on the 6th fret on the 3rd string, and your 1st finger is barring the 1st and 2nd strings together. You get that kind of chord sound. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play like a little blues lick here by hammering on the 3rd of the chord. So you're going to actually be playing the 2nd and 3rd strings, barring your 1st finger on the 5th fret, and you're going to take your 2nd finger, your middle finger, and hammer it onto the 6th fret, 3rd string. Now, the rest of that lick, what I did right there is I did the hammer on, I took my 3rd finger and I barred it on the 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings, and I did the hammer on again. You can actually make a kind of like a horn lick or an organ idea by also sliding up into here. You've got your 2nd finger on the 8th fret, 2nd string. Your 3rd finger is on the 9th fret, 3rd string. I just played it starting up here. Or you can, just go up. That's kind of the sounds of the 60s there with these. The next idea we're going to play with, we're going to actually take your bar on the 1st and 2nd strings. Then we're going to take your 3rd and 4th fingers. 3rd finger is on the 7th fret, 2nd string. Your 4th finger is on the 8th fret, 1st string. Now I'm plucking that with the 2 fingers at the same time when I'm doing the hybrid picking. I'm giving a little bit of a tweak though. You can kind of combine all this stuff. If you just went, doesn't really sound like much of anything. But these 2 notes, this is the 3rd of the chord, You know, if you give that a little tweak where it's actually coming into the major third of the A chord, it sounds a little bit bluesier or sassier. You know, so if you take those two notes at the same time and give them the same tweak, you're going to get a little bit more of that flavor to it. It's just real plain playing it that way. You can also take your fourth finger and bar the first and second strings. Third finger, do the same thing in those two strings, and first finger. So I'm just going on the first and second strings, and then doing the same idea on the second and third strings. You get into like that.